computer, and we are recording. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Okay, guys, how's the font size? Can you see things clearly?
Yeah, it looks pretty good.
All right, cool. We'll go into full screen in a second here. Let's go view, enter, and then we'll go from there. But anyway, guys, welcome. My name is Christian Oye. I'm the program director for the Study Abroad Association. Originally, Oklahoma Study Abroad. I'm also from Oklahoma City, but I moved to Europe when I was 18 and fell in love, and so I stayed in Europe and have been back and forth since then. So I'm very familiar with Rose State College in Midwest City and the surrounding area. I went to Classen School of Advanced Studies in Oklahoma City, and I grew up here till I was 18, and then I got the travel bug, so I think most of you will as well. But anyway, the Costa Rica program is going to be incredible. It's going to be, one second, we got some background noise. Guys, if you can mute your microphone until you have a question, that'd be great. So that way there's not as much background noise.
Okay.
Yeah, let's see here. I can mute someone. Yeah, awesome. And then in the meantime, guys, if you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to jump in and ask. So March 16th to 24th, Costa Rica with a biology focused. We're going to be spending our time on the Caribbean coast. It's the most biodiverse region of Costa Rica. And the great thing about this is you're actually going to be doing your biology lab while in Costa Rica. So perfect place to make a beautiful destination your classroom. We're going to go into the itinerary in a second, and we'll go over all of the do's and the don'ts and everything you need to be aware of. But first things first, let's talk about the flight times, okay? We have an early morning departure, guys, leaving Oklahoma City. But the good news is that you're going to be in Costa Rica sooner, okay? So 5:15 a.m. is when your flight is, okay? This is a red-eye flight. So we need to make sure, guys, that you're at the airport at least 2 hours before departure. I know it's super, super early, but you're going to be able to sleep from Houston to San Jose for sure. So, but please make sure you're on time. And I apologize, but the other flights, we're going to get you in almost around 11 p.m., midnight. And normally there are delays in the afternoon coming in Costa Rica. So this is really the best option for us. Go ahead.
Is that going to be Will Rogers specifically?
Yes, airport? It is. OKC Will Rogers, and you guys are flying with United. So you just get somebody to give you a ride, or take an Uber up there, and make sure you're there at least 2 hours before departure, especially because TSA, they don't have as many people on staff right now. So make sure you get there early. Yeah. You'll check in this little reference code right here, this J6. Let me zoom in. Again, I'm going to send this all to you guys, but this J628E7, this is your reservation code that you can just go ahead and print your boarding passes off with directly from the airport. And then from there, you'll just proceed through security, and then off you go. Luckily, guys, for Costa Rica, you don't need a visa. You can enter as a as a tourist for up to 90 days, okay? Our team will be waiting for you outside of the airport once you arrive into San Jose, okay? So 10:30 in the morning, we'll be waiting for you outside. We'll pick you up. We'll go get checked in. We'll grab some lunch, and then we'll do a walk-in tour around San Jose, the capital. Costa Rica has around 5 million people. 2 million of those live in San Jose. And during the afternoon, we'll go to the Central Market. We'll see kind of the most important sites of the city center, and then you'll get to meet your fellow travelers, ones from your group, as well as other travelers who are from different colleges and universities that are doing different programs. But you guys will all be able to hang out, and you'll have a really good introduction to Costa Rica. Now, guys, Costa Rica is very safe, okay? The only thing that you really need to be aware of or concerned about in Costa Rica is just being careful with your, almost like everywhere in the world, to be honest, but being careful with your valuables. So physical crime, things like this is extremely, extremely rare. If you leave an expensive phone on the table and you walk away, it might not be there when you come back. But again, that's like anywhere in the world. So you're in a very safe, very beautiful, very friendly country. Okay. And I'll send you as well in the orientation packet. You'll have your return flight information as well. So go ahead and here to packing recommendations, guys. 1 second. So packing recommendations, guys. Costa Rica tropical. There's going to be normally it's going to be around 85 during the day. Sunrise 6 a.m. Sunset 6 p.m. It's like that every day. There may be some showers, but it's quite rare as this is March, so it's a dry season. But humidity for sure. So you want to try to get clothing that's quick dry. Okay, things that don't. You want to bring down clothing that will dry easily and quickly and doesn't retain too much water. Costa Rica is very casual, guys. So don't bring down jewelry or anything that if you lose it, you'll be upset. Leave it at home. Okay. T-shirts, tank tops, shorts, swimsuits. You won't need really jeans. If anything, you can bring like some light pants, but like that would be maybe in San Jose because it can be a little bit cooler in San Jose. But maybe a light jacket in San Jose, like a light little hoodie or something like that. That'll be fine. Nothing more than that. Okay. Let's go over some of the essentials, things that you guys will definitely need. So swimsuits for sure, since we're on the Caribbean coast. Ladies, the fellow female travelers in the past, they always say, bring more swimsuits than you planned. So because sometimes they take a little while to dry out because of the humidity. So about 3 swimsuits if you have them. If not, no worries. You can wash them and hang dry them. Guys, same thing. Couple pairs of swim trunks. Good to go. Closed-toe shoes, very important. Okay. We're going to be spending a lot of time on the trails in the national parks. So you want to make sure that you have closed-toed shoes. And it's just for safety, okay? In case, we will be in areas where they do have snakes and things like this. However, we stick to the trails. It's just a good practice to have closed-toe shoes, as well as, if you're standing on an ant hill. Flip-flops are not ideal for when we're actually doing the field work in the national parks. So flip-flops for the beach. You guys are actually staying at hotels, so don't let the word hostel scare you. Even though the hostels that we do stay at, when we do stay at them, are great, so don't worry. Water shoes. I recommend this for the waterfalls, as the rocks can be a little bit sharp or a little uncomfortable. Some simple water shoes you can get at Academy with like rubber soles on the bottom will be perfect for it. So, get those for a couple bucks. Those will come in handy, and also for whitewater rafting. Sun protection, guys. The sun is very, very strong down there. So you definitely want to load up with sunscreen and protect yourself as much as possible. Okay. As I mentioned, we are going during dry season, but it never hurts to have like a little extra poncho in case there is a lot of rain one day. In the evenings, we'll be doing some nocturnal hikes. And that'd be a good opportunity for you to wear, thin, long sleeve shirt or long pants. And, those pants could be the same ones that if you want to wear them in San Jose, if it's a little bit cooler, those would work. But basically just additional protection against mosquitoes and any type of like sand fleas like that when we're doing the nocturnal hikes. Quick dry everything, guys. As I mentioned before, try not to bring down like big, thick beach towels because those will retain too much water and then they'll start to smell like mildewy, Very important, guys, that you bring a little day pack. So basically, you're going to have your main bag or your main suitcase, and then you need to have another little backpack that you can keep your essentials in for the day, okay? Keep that with you. A reusable water bottle, very important. We try to practice as much sustainability as possible during our programs, and we try to avoid the use of plastic and unnecessary plastic. So we provide 5-gallon jugs of drinking water. The water on the Caribbean coast, it's not advisable to drink that. So the locals do, but we don't advise our travelers to. It's a quick way to get a case of traveler's diarrhea, so we don't want you to have that. And so what you want to do instead is bring your reusable water bottle, and you'll have unlimited access to water for drinking water. So you can just fill up and then you're good for the day. Grab a couple of, one second. Someone's calling. Let me turn that on. Can you guys hear that ringing on your end too?
Yeah.
Okay, apologies. I was like, if not, I'll just let it keep ringing in my ear. Don't worry. But it'll turn off here in 1 second. 1 sec. Moment. There we go. Sorry about that, guys. And continuing. I said a second ago, try to reduce unnecessary plastic. However, sometimes it is important to, to utilize what we have access to, especially if it's really nice and waterproof. So, those classic gallon Ziploc bags, those are really great and simple for your electronics. So just to protect it in the case that there is a sudden downpour and you're in the middle of the rainforest, that, your phone, camera, things like this that might not be waterproof don't become completely damaged, okay? Couple of plastic trash bags, for example, that you can use to separate your dirty clothes from your clean clothes, your wet clothes, your dry clothes. Those are essential. And any kind of over-the-counter meds, guys, that you have, normally bring those with you, but make sure they're in their original bottle, okay? Don't just bring a bag full of pills, okay? Yeah, and then, guys, sunscreen is more affordable in the States than down in Costa Rica. So I advise that you bring sunscreen from the States down instead of purchasing it down there. And they've got really great sunscreen on the market now that is kind of like the roll-on stick sunscreen. So it doesn't classify as a liquid, which means that you can bring a few of those sticks, and you don't have to worry about taking up all the room in your toiletry bag. So you can get those at, your Walgreens, Targets, Walmarts, all that kind of stuff. But those roll-on stick ones that kind of looks like a deodorant stick, those are great. I personally use those. Now, I am going to encourage you to carry on your bag, okay, to carry on your luggage for two reasons. One, it allows you to be more mobile in the airport and allows you to get around easier. And secondly, it makes sure that your bag's going to arrive with you when you arrive. And we have had a couple travelers in the past who their bag either didn't show up at all or it showed up a few days into the trip. And I don't want you to experience that. It is very, very, very possible. And I only carry on personally. You can easily stay within the dimensions that are allowed for you and carry on for this trip. And I highly suggest that you do that, at least coming down to Costa Rica. When you're returning back to the States, if you want to check on a bag, that's completely fine. And, because you're going to have more souvenirs and things like this. And, if the bag's delayed, that's okay. It's going to come to your house. But going down, I do recommend that you carry on because you're allocated 2 bags, okay? 1 bag to go in the overhead and 1 to go under your seat. And you can stick to the dimensions. You'll be just fine. Let's see here. Guys, equipment is provided for like snorkeling and stuff like that. So you don't need to bring down your mask and all that unless you really like your mask, then, feel free, that's fine. But it is included. And insect repellent, okay, guys? We are on the Caribbean. We are in the tropics, so there will be mosquitoes. You don't need to worry about malaria or things like this, but you definitely will want some type of repellent. And you can find eco repellent, it's the same price as the stuff that has all the chemicals in it. Passport, guys, you definitely need a passport. You have to travel with that one. If you haven't done it, go do it tomorrow because it might take 4 weeks to process, okay? ATM debit card, I recommend that you use that instead of bringing down a lot of US cash. It's just smart travel that way. Keep in mind that most debit cards will charge a fee for withdrawing out of the machine as well. In addition to sometimes it charges a percentage, sometimes 3%. So that can start to add up if you're taking out a lot of money regularly from the ATM. So I would recommend that you go down and you just do like maybe maybe 2 transactions, 3 transactions at the most to get out your spending money. A lot of places do take card, but they prefer cash, obviously. And let's see what else. They use the local colones in Costa Rica. So US dollars are accepted and actually even preferred sometimes. But at the same time, I prefer if you don't come down with, a few $100 in US cash. And because, you take a chance that you lose it and, or you're pickpocketed or whatever, and the money's not there, then all of your spending money's gone. It's safer to have it on the debit card and just withdraw it from there. That's my recommendation. But if you do want to bring down, a little bit of cash in hand, that, feel free, obviously. Credit cards are generally not accepted in a lot of places, like especially like markets and things like this. But if you're at like the grocery store or you're at a restaurant, you can pay with credit card, no problem. And there's many on the market now, guys, that are great that don't have international fees. Okay, but these are your essential packing recommendations. All right, and you can review all those and let me know if you have any questions. So guys, your travel checklist is very important. Passport, obviously. I'm going to send you everybody an email with a link to complete, and you can complete your online medical form. So that's in the case of an emergency. We can provide local doctors your information quickly. That's all stays confidential and is destroyed after the trip. Make sure that you have a ride to and from the airport. Okay. Provide your loved one's emergency contact information. Very important, guys. Let the bank know that you're going to be in Costa Rica during those dates, so that way they don't block your card. And if any kind of trip materials that Professor Rubel has for you, make sure to get those. And let me tell you, pack bags, like I said, guys, pack light, follow the airline's regulations, and most importantly, get excited because it's going to be an amazing trip. So as I mentioned earlier, we're staying in hotels. So you'll be at the National Park Hotel in Cahuita. That's where we'll be staying the duration of the week. And then in San Jose, the capital city, on the first night and the last night, we'll be staying at the Palm House Inn. Both very centrally located and great spots. And there's all that information if you want to pass that on to your parents. So your tour guides, Ludwig McLeod, local guide, and I'll also be down there as well. I'll give you my contact number here. One second here, guys. Put that there. 405-549-3329. See, I told you I'm from Oklahoma. And U.S. Embassy and all these kind of stuff. So this is just good stuff to have on you in general when you're traveling. Trip itinerary, let's get to the fun stuff, okay? So as I mentioned, on the 16th, early morning flight, we're gonna be waiting for you in San Jose. We'll go drop the bags off. We'll have lunch. We'll do orientation tour around the city. We'll get to know each other, and then we'll have a nice welcome dinner that night. Following day, we have we're going to the Caribbean coast. It's going to be a very beautiful and scenic 4-hour drive to Cahuita on the Caribbean coast. Plenty of stops along the way to grab snacks, use restroom, coffee breaks, etc. Once we hit Cahuita, we're going to get checked in. We're going to have our town orientation. We're going to discuss the projects, the community, everything that we do in Cahuita. And in the afternoon, we're going to have surfing lessons, which is really cool. Cahuita is the perfect place to learn how to surf because the waves are great for beginner up to intermediate, and it's not extremely deep. It's shallow, so it's about up to your waist, the water up to your chest at the most. So it's really the perfect spot to learn, and we are going to make sure that you get up on that board without a doubt. The guides are awesome. They're all recreational to even up to professional surfers. So you're in good hands. We're going to have the Caribbean welcome dinner that night, and then we're going to go for a nocturnal wildlife hike that evening. So we'll get to see a lot of wildlife during the night that we don't normally see during the day. The following day, guys, we're going to go into the Coweta National Park. This is one of the most impressive parks in the country. It offers they say that the diversity is the biodiversity is the highest within the park, and it's the only national park that's based on donations, which is very cool. So we make sure to support them as much as possible. So we're going to be using Coweta National Park as well as a couple other reserves in the area as our classroom. So after we do the general wildlife tour, focus on the local flora and fauna, we're going to have time for your coursework. And then in the afternoon, we'll do a couple volunteer projects within the park. So a lot of times we do some basic trail maintenance, we do trash cleanup, these kind of things. Now, just to double check, sorry, Professor Rubel, is this I need to confirm because I think that we might have rearranged, we had our call a month ago.
Yes.
We might have rearranged a couple things. Let me check one thing, guys, because I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. I'll make sure this is all up to date before I send it over to you. But let's see here. Yeah, that's supposed to be removed. Anyway, yeah, it's up to date. It's just the sea turtle. So, guys, unfortunately for the sea turtles, it's not in season. They land and lay their eggs between April and August. So this is where we're going to be doing the nocturnal wildlife hike on this evening. Apologies for the confusion there, but we'll get that updated for you. Unfortunately, we can't control the sea turtles and have them come in March instead of April, but we tried. The following day, guys, we're going to be visiting the Bree community. Now, the Bree Indigenous tribe is they held on to their culture, more successfully than a lot of the other indigenous communities in Costa Rica, because in the South Caribbean, where we are, is where the Talamanca Mountains are. So when the arrival of the Spaniards happened in the late 1500s, the Bree tribe, they were able to retreat into the mountains, and they were able to sustain a lot of their culture. But we're going to go spend a very educational and very interesting and fun day with the Bree. And we're going to learn all about medicinal plants, how to use basically the environment for everything that you can imagine, from making clothes to natural dyes, where if you boil this leaf, it produces the color blue, or if you boil this leaf, it produces the color orange. We're going to learn how to make chocolate in the traditional way. And we're going to learn all about the Bree community, and we're going to have a nice meal with them. And then we're going to go to their beautiful waterfalls. Okay?
Perfect.
It's definitely one of the highlights of the trip. Everyone loves it. It's very informative, fascinating. The next day, we're going to be going to the Manzanillo and Gandoca Wildlife Refuge, and it's very, very special. It's not an official national park. However, it has a status of where it definitely could be. It's absolutely beautiful. You have virgin beaches there. Even you have some virgin rainforest there, primary rainforest. And it's full of wildlife. And we're going to go for the Great Green Macaw Conservation Project while we're there. And again, guys, you're going to be doing some more of your field work, your work for the class, day in and day out, because you never know what you're going to spot on the trails. So it's great. Next day, guys, Coweta National Park again, more research. And then in the afternoon, we're going to go coral reef snorkeling, okay? So Coweta is actually both it has a marine park as well. So it has the longest stretch of coral reef in Costa Rica is found in Coweta. So unfortunately, the reef isn't doing as well as it used to, considering the water temperature changes and things like that. But there is still some life, and not all of the coral is bleached out. So it will be great. And then the next day, guys, Coweta National Park again, and I want to explain a little bit about Coweta as well. Is the town's really great. There's plenty to do. The locals are extremely friendly. And our entire team of our guides, they're from Coweta, so you'll feel at home right away. And in the evening times, the groups like to get together. We have game nights. We do a lot of salsa dancing, or we do group cooking together, these kind of things. And there's some great restaurants that show new movies each night and stuff like that. So there's plenty to do. You guys definitely won't get bored. And then one of the highlights of the trip, guys, is the last day, Saturday before departure. We're going to go whitewater rafting on the Rio Pacuare. Rio Pacuare was voted by National Geographic and as in the top 5 rivers in the entire planet for whitewater rafting. And it's going to be exceptional. And we're going to go there. And it's a great way to break up the 4-hour drive in the bus. So we spend 2 hours on the river, 2 hours in the bus. And then once we get to San Jose, we'll take you to the best place to do souvenir shopping. It's a local artisanal market and local artisan market, excuse me. And everything's handcrafted there. So you want to save all your souvenir shopping for the end. And we'll show you great places to buy coffee and things like that, things like Costa Rican things that your friends and family will really love. And that night we'll have a farewell dinner, program closing, and then the following morning we'll head to the airport, and it'll be one incredible spring break program. And here's a picture of some of the beaches that you're going to be seeing in Manzanillo. But yeah, guys, right now I'd like to open it up for you to ask any type of questions that you might have, and make sure we can answer all those. And maybe you might ask a question that someone else in the room is also thinking. So that's it for me. Feel free and go for it. I'm all yours. So any questions? Now is a good time.
I had a couple, just real quick.
Yeah.
What are your recommendations on bringing a cell phone or not?
Yeah, so bringing a cell phone is great because you have Wi-Fi pretty much everywhere you go, and you can stay up to date with your friends, share photos, all this kind of things. I would recommend turning your phone on airplane mode when you arrive in Costa Rica. That way you're not charged, expensive roaming charges and things like that. Okay. Unless you do have a plan that covers that, I would keep it on airplane mode. But yeah, definitely for staying in contact and for updates and things like that, I would have something like that. I think that's a much better option than bringing a laptop.
Okay. And then for the different groups and guides that we're going to see, is there a tipping protocol, or is that something you can help us out with if we need to do so?
Yeah, guys. So basically, our team, we have a no tipping policy. Okay. The guys are taken care of well, they're paid good for their time, and you will not be put in an uncomfortable situation to where you need to tip. Okay. If you are going to restaurants and things like this, then you could leave 10%, but no more than that. Okay,
great. That's perfect.
Yeah,
because I know in some cases I've heard of tipping your guide and some of the other people.
We have a no tipping policy, no tippings, no commission. So yeah, you guys basically don't worry about that.
And then in terms of a waterproof camera, do you have recommendations on affordable? Like where exactly might I go to get something like that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. Amazon. I would get on Amazon and find out what the most affordable little waterproof cameras are right now. And you guys still have plenty of time to order it and have it delivered to your house, for example. Next bet would be Best Buy, probably.
Okay, so just your normal electronic stores.
That's what I recommend. And because I don't even know if they're making those. You remember those nice wind cameras with like 20 photos?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, so I'm sure you can still find those at Walgreens or something like that. But I would just hop online and look at what the best options are, and then definitely be careful, guys. I don't recommend bringing your camera on the whitewater rafting because I personally lost one time, but I had a lot of great footage, and it went right into the river, and I was upset about it for a couple of days. So again, guys, anything that you feel that if you lose it, you're going to be upset about, I would leave it at home. Play safe.
Any other, Grayson or Jen, do you guys have any questions?
I'm all good on my end.
I'm good.
I think just last you mentioned it's pretty safe. Obviously, there's some,
Yeah, one
some other,
second. Yeah,
your basic crimes.
Yeah.
When we're not in the hotel room, or say we're on the water raft away from the bus, and what are we where should we put our passports or phones or things of that nature that, like, for against, like you said, water raft, maybe not bring my phone, but
yeah, great question.
Is it really safe? Where's it going to be? How's it going to be safe?
Yeah, great questions. So regarding passports and things like that, we can put that in the hotel safe. That's fine. Regarding, and remember, guys, in Coweta, you're completely safe and taken care of, because that's where we bring a lot of groups to this hotel. They know us, they have respect for us. Our entire team is from Coweta, so you're in really good hands there. When we're whitewater rafting, everything will be, you have your own personal locker, so you can keep that, and everything's monitored, cameras, security super high.
Oh, great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you'll be good there. And hotels, just make sure your room's locked when you leave, and then just don't leave a bunch of valuables laying out, and especially if you have a bunch of cash or whatever, don't leave that like laying out on the bed. Put it in your bag, and you'll be fine.
So in terms of basically using a carry-on bag as your luggage and getting all the stuff to fit, recommend, so let's say we're there for 9 days, packing like 4 shirts and reusing shirts, or what's sort of the protocol of that you recommend? Yeah,
so there's some laundromats there as well, guys. So you can if you get halfway through the trip and you realize I'm running out of stuff, you can go and drop it off. They'll do your laundry and they'll have it ready for you the following morning.
Okay, great. Actually, that was
that's
something
a good
I was wondering
option.
about.
And then regarding what to bring down. Personally, I bring 2 or 3 swim shorts, and then 3 pairs of kind of like soccer shorts or something like that. And then shirts, I bring at least one shirt per day, and then a couple tank tops or something like that. And guys, if you go online to YouTube, you can find some really great videos on rolling your clothes and things like this to save a lot of space. And you can definitely pack within those dimensions and save a lot of room. Your bigger items like your closed-toed shoes and stuff like that, wear those on the plane, right? And then put your flip-flops in your bag so you can save space, those kind of things.
And then I think my final question is for, say, another bag in terms of bringing home souvenirs. Is that something maybe you'd purchase there on the cheap, or would you maybe send a...
Yeah, great question. I would. A lot of times you can find these collapsible, really thin, easy to kind of put almost in your hand, and then they expand kind of bags. You know what I mean? Like really thin kind of duffel bags. If you grab one of those and just go ahead and bring it down with you, and then you can open it up afterwards and fill it up with whatever you've purchased in Costa Rica, and check that on, or check your dirty clothes on the plane.
Okay, great.
Yeah,
I think that was it for me.
Yeah, but guys, you're in great hands. Costa Rica is by far one of our most frequented and popular destinations. We guarantee you'll leave with having an incredible experience, and you're gonna love Coweta. It's a little piece of paradise, and I look forward to meeting all you guys. I'll be down there, so we're gonna have a blast.
Awesome. I look forward to it.
Perfect. Cool. Well, guys, any questions at all, let Professor Rubel know as well. I will send you the updated version of this electronically, along with the links for your medical form and stuff like that. And get excited. We're it's a month, less than a month away. So I look forward to meeting all you guys, and have a lovely weekend.
Thank you so much.
And my pleasure. Bye, everyone. Take care.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, guys.